Hi everyone, Tracy here from Healing Minds. So today I want to share with you a therapy tool that I've been using. I've created this from existing tools that are out there. I'll explain as I go along. So this might be hard for you to read from there, but I'm going to read this out anyway. So pretty much this was developed from the trauma response or the fight, flight, flee response. I'm sure many of you have heard of that. So I was thinking of that when working with clients, and I thought I can't get all my clients into those 3 or 4 categories that were already in existence. They don't all fit into that. And I thought, do I need to merge my clients into those, or should we be changing the tools to fit and accommodate for clients? So I went with the second option. So I've taken parts of the existing responses that are already in play, and I've added to it. So I now have 12. So it's called the 12F responses. So I stuck with the letter F, and I'll explain all of this to you. And I was able to see most of my clients in all of these. It's really interesting. Okay, so the first one, we're going to stick with the original, which is fight. So as with all of these, they work on a continuum. So what do I mean by a continuum? Down one end, for example, fight could be a little bit of sarcasm, but at the other end, it could be a physically abusive and violent behavior. So that's what I mean by a continuum. So it's along a spectrum. So the first one is fight, and then I've got a few examples under each of these, just a minimal amount of examples, just to give an insight into what I'm trying to explain. So fight is argumentative, angry, aggressive, physically abusive, and violent, like I mentioned before. The next one, number 2, is flight or flee. Both terminologies get used. Remove self physically from the situation, run away or hide. So sometimes that could be even maybe avoidant behavior, not all the time, but that's just an example as well. So that's physically removing oneself from the situation. Number 3 is freeze. So this is where we are removing ourselves psychologically from the situation. Some people dissociate, some people go stiff, they stay still, that type of behavior. Number 4 is fawn. So this is pretty much the deer in headlights, if you think about it. Fawn, a little deer, apparently that's what they're called, so it's a deer in headlights. So to please or appease other people, or to be compliant. So that's pretty much what that is. We're going to shut down who we are, and we're going to focus on pleasing the other person. Number 5 up here at the top is flop. So the body begins to fold in on itself. It could be hunched shoulders, but on the extreme of the spectrum, it's collapse. I've actually seen people lying on the floor. They can't get any lower. So that's flop. Number 6 is fornicate, sex. Turning to sexualized behavior, make up sex, or even sexual violence. For some people, that's their go-to. Number 7 is feed. So turning to addictions such as alcohol, drugs, gambling, food such as comfort eating. It's not just food itself, it's any sort of addictions that we've had. So any of these other ones could almost fall into that category as well. Number 8 is funny. Using humor, laughing, smiling, telling jokes. And on the extreme, for example, I use with my clients example when people are at a funeral and they're laughing. A lot of people think that that's really disrespectful. I look at it as though that person who is doing the laughing is not coping. They're at their extreme end of their spectrum, of the continuum, and they're not coping at all. Number 9 up here on the other end is fatigue. So feeling tired, the need to sleep, unable to function without sleep, and the need to recharge through sleep. Another part of this, the continuum could be where someone's driving, they're going, oh, I need to pull over and sleep right now. Something may have triggered them. There's something going on where they're just not coping anymore and they just need to shut down. Number 10, the green one over here, is fidget. Moving around, fidgeting with body parts or external objects, or unable to stay still. That may or may not be affiliated with ADHD or neurodiversity. For some clients that I've got with ADHD, they do the fidgeting, but not everyone that does fidgeting has neurodiversity. Number 11, the blue one, is flood, feeling overwhelmed with emotions, sudden burst of uncontrollable emotions. I've got the emoticon that's crying here, a flood of tears, but it doesn't have to be crying. It could be anger, it could be any sort of emotion, but it's done on the extreme where it's no longer healthy behavior, it's too much. So that person is not coping, that person is shutting down basically, and that's their go-to. And the last one here is number 12, is fine. So this is responding with fine, good, or okay when asked how one feels, minimizing true feelings and emotion. So if you've ever, how are you going? Fine. How are you going? Good. How are you going? Okay. Now, whenever a client starts session, is how are you going? I'm good. Okay, so what do you mean by good? I don't have a measurement tool for good, fine, or okay. So I tend to go with what's underneath that. So this is, the emoticon shows no emotion whatsoever. It's neutral. There's nothing happening there. So it's either masking how they really feel, either from themselves or from society, someone else. So they are my 12 F responses. I hope you enjoyed learning about that. You can go to the Healing Minds website, which is healingminds.au, and you can explore all the other tools and everything else on there. If you want a copy of this, please just let me know at admin at healingminds.au. Take care. Bye.